Hello everyone, this is Nintenguy and it's time for a comparison video. As you can see, I have two Atari 2600 models. I have the 6-switch model and I have the 4-switch model. The Atari 2600 was released in 1977 and it was also known as the Atari Video Computer System. However, these two models weren't the only models in existence. There were other models. There was another model which other people may know as the Atari 2600 Darth Vader model, which had no wood grain cover whatsoever and it just had a black cover on it. Another one was known as the Atari 2600 Junior, which was basically Atari's version of the PlayStation 2 Slim. There was also an adapter for the ColecoVision, which would allow you to play Atari 2600 games on your ColecoVision. Not only that, Coleco also made their own Atari console called the Coleco Gemini, which was basically a standalone Atari 2600. And did you know that Sears also made their own Atari console? But they didn't call it Atari, they just called it the Sears Video Arcade or something like that. But I don't have those models. In this video, I'm only going to focus the differences between the two. So let's get started with the oldest model, which is the 6-switch model. I should point out that this 6-switch model does not work, and I think it's because I have a ripped video cable. And with most Atari models, the video cable is permanently attached to the system. I don't know if that's with every single model, but it's like that with the 6-switch model and the 4-switch model. Let's take a look at the switches that it has. There's the power on and off switch, the color TV or black and white TV switch, player 1 difficulty, player 2 difficulty, game select switch would allow you to select your different game modes, and the reset switch, which was very useful for starting up certain games. I don't know if you can see it that well, but there were also holes on the Atari top part. Let's take a look at the back of the system. We have the controller 1 port and the controller 2 port. And keep in mind, you can also plug in a Sega Genesis controller into these controller ports and you can actually get them to work. There's also the power adapter. And of course this video cable that's permanently attached. Why? Why, oh why? And the cartridge slot is pretty deep actually. As you can see, I think you can see it, but there's also a metal shielding around the cartridge slot. If we take in a random game, let's take Yar's Revenge for example, it actually fits in pretty nice and snug. And the cartridge slot is really deep, so the cartridge is pretty snug. So, I think we're done talking about the 6-switch model. Let's take a look at the 4-switch model. Alrighty then, let's talk about the 4-switch model. And this one actually works. This is what I use to play my Atari games on. And as you can see, it only has 4 switches on the front. You have the on and off switch, the color or black and white TV switch, the game select switch, and the game reset switch. And you're maybe wondering, where's the player 1 and player 2 difficulty switches? Well, I'll show you. They're on the back. This is the player 1 difficulty switch and the player 2 difficulty switch. The player 1 controller port is here instead of being down there. Player 2 controller port is there instead of being down there. We have the channel select switch, which you can set it to channel 2 or channel 3. On the 6-switch model, I forgot to show you it, but it was, I think, on the 6-switch model it was around there. Okay, so, there are no holes on the side. The cartridge slot itself isn't as deep. That metal shielding is no longer there anymore. And if we stick in a random game, like for example, Phoenix, it's in there, but it's not in as deep as the 6-switch model. Another thing I forgot to mention with the comparison between the 4-switch model and the 6-switch model was the bottom. So this is the bottom of the 4-switch model right here. Let's take a look at the bottom of the 6-switch model. And with the 6-switch model, there's 2 screws on it. So I think we're pretty much done talking about the differences between the 6-switch and the 4-switch model. Oh wait, there's one more thing I forgot to mention. I forgot to talk about the video cables. This is the video cable for the 6-switch model. It's just a simple regular AV cable. As you can see, it's ripped, so that there's a reason why it's broken. And like with the 4-switch model, you can't replace the cord, the video cable cord. But with the power cords, you can. This is the video cable for the 4-switch model. It was supposed to plug into a box, which that box would have 2 metal prongs that you had to stick behind the TV. Nowadays we don't use that anymore, so if you have any video game console that's like this, I recommend you get this gold piece right here. You stick it onto this part right here and you use it to screw it into the back of your TV and use it like a regular RF cable. So anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Nintendo Guy saying take care and see you later.